doing, Shane? It took me 3 flipping hours to get back here from Ballyferton.
Ah, did you get me shag?
Yeah, it was El Codger you wanted, wasn't it?
Hold on. Pox, get back in the garage. Yeah, you've got the
Pox,
rabies.
go on.
Go on, boy. Go on, boy. Hey, oh, hey.
Tell you what, I'm taking a sledgehammer to that old heap and get myself a muddy fox.
Oh, it'll be a long, cold, bitter day before I'd curse a bit of machinery.
What are you talking about, Jabberjaw?
It's a horrible tale of death, tragedy, and tractors.
Tractors?
I'm talking about the tractor of doom. Old man Toolin from Wankelstown died suddenly.
Oh.
Turned out he only had one son who'd legged it off on him after he went blind.
Oh, gee.
He was the only heir to Toolin's land and knew nothing of country ways.
Very good.
They found him up in Dublin, pouncing around with a carefree and feckless attitude.
Pouncing around? Sounds like a gobsheen waster to me.
Ah, he was, Rodge. He had a pile of debts as long as his arm. And on hearing the news, he thought the old man's farm would be a good place to hide out for a while. Upon his arrival, young Toolin was surprised to discover that he now owned a prime 40-acre field. I'll get a few bob for that, he thought. So he advertised to sell it, but there were no buyers.
No buyers.
Why won't yez buy me land? He shouted in the pub one night. It was old Scanger O'Houlihan who piped up. 'Tis Druid's burial ground, holy land, not to be tampered with by mortal folk. Feck the lot of ye, said Toolin. I'll rear 100 cattle on that land and make a fortune and buy yez all out, ye superstitious country agents.
He's some arse-a-gone, that fella.
Oh, 'tis true, 'cause the very next morning he bought himself 100 head of cattle.
I bet he did.
But within 2 weeks, they were all dead.
Dead?
You see, they wouldn't eat the grass.
Oh.
Then in a rage, he sold his father's house and bought a brand new top-of-the-range Massey Ferguson.
The 5,000.
Huh?
She's a beauty.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
But this one was more of a beast.
What do you mean?
Well, he began to plough the field, but young Toolin was still in too much of a rage to notice the human remains that were being ploughed up behind the tractor.
Oh, Jesus. The Druids!
Yeah, and eventually when he did see the bones, he just laughed and kept on ploughing. I'll make this field mine if it's the last thing I do, he shouted.
Galoot.
And with that, the tractor came to a sudden halt. Young Toolin thought he'd better check the plough to see if those old Druid bones had gotten wedged in the blades.
What happened then? Tell us. What happened?
Well, let's just say there were some fresher bones ploughed into the field that night. Plough, 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 plough. And the unmanned tractor, as if possessed by the force of the Druids, raged around the field for 7 days and 7 nights.
Did it not run out of diesel?
Oh, it did, after a couple of days.
Ah, yeah, I've thought
But it kept going all the same.
Jeez.
When eventually it stopped, it had dug a 6-foot-deep trench into the field in the shape of the sacred Druid's pentangle.
Oh! Whatever happened to the tractor, so?
It was dismantled by a local scrap dealer.
Ah,
And the parts were shipped off all around the country.
that was best.
Yeah, to mend other machinery, from
Aye.
washing machines to
Yeah.
lawnmowers, from microwaves to bicycles.
Oh, Jesus.
Every piece, from the smallest nut and bolt, was said to be possessed by an evil force. Sure, aren't we always hearing about mysterious, fatal accidents with machinery seemingly having a mind of its own?
Right. Podge. Mm-hmm. You know my bike. Did you think that might be possessed? At all?
You never know. You never know. Night, Rodge.
I'm sure it's a low-down scutter.